In present-day New York City, struggling artist Evie Jackson makes a living freelancing for a catering business with her best friend Grace. Her business is running well, but she's not quite content with it. Evie's mother passes away and she's really sad at this. Then Evie takes a DNA test after her mother's death, and from the results of this test she discovers that she has a distant cousin in England named Oliver Alexander. She goes and meets Oliver, who tells her the scandal of her great-grandmother Emmeline, who had a secret child with a black servant. This servant used to attend the visitors at the stately home and at the dining table. Oliver invites Evie to an upcoming family wedding in England. She arrives at Whitby, at the new Carfax Abbey, where she meets the Lord of the Manor, Walter de Vele, Mrs. Swift, a longtime maid of the estate, and de Vele's devoted butler, Mr. Field. Evie also meets the rest of the Alexander family and the maids of honor of the bride, friendly Lucy and the condescending Victoria. During her stay, Evie and Walter develop a mutual attraction. Meanwhile, throughout the house, several housemaids under the stewardship of Mr. Field vanish one by one after being attacked by an unseen force. One night, Evie sees an apparition in her bedroom. She is shocked. The next day, she sneaks into Walter's office and discovers that he had been doing his research on her before her arrival. She confronts him and threatens to leave, but the two reconcile. The family hosts a rehearsal dinner for the wedding where Evie expects to finally meet the bride and groom. Instead, Walter announces that he and Evie are to be wed. She is utterly shocked by this revelation. Mr. Field slits a maid's throat and serves her blood in a wine glass to Walter, Lucy, and Victoria, who are all revealed to be vampires. Walter explains that Evie's ancestors, the Alexanders, are one of the three families who, for centuries, have each offered one of their women to become his wife in exchange for protection and wealth. Victoria, Lucy, and Emmeline, Evie's grandmother, were all wedded to him, but Emmeline killed herself due to her being guilty of killing humans and due to the loss of her love, Evie's great-grandfather, and their infant son. The Alexander family had trouble finding a female member until they tracked down Evie. They found out Evie was the right person to marry to Walter due to their tradition. Evie is displeased by the revelation and thus she is imprisoned in the cellar. She is then visited by Lucy and Victoria. Victoria admits that she was the apparition that Evie had seen and reveals Dee, an imprisoned maid who disappeared days earlier. Victoria locks Evie inside a coffin, but she is freed by Mrs. Swift, who was friends with Emmeline. She then escapes and runs off. Evie hides in a shed where she discovers the bodies of the maids and of Mrs. Swift, who has been killed by Mr. Field. Evie escapes into town and asks an elderly couple for help. They reveal themselves to be Jonathan and Mina Harker, who works for de Vele, and they knock Evie unconscious. She wakes to find herself with de Vele, who is feeding on Imogen, another maid. He then reveals himself to be Dracula. Evie is forced to wed de Vele while Dee is tied up next to the altar as a sacrifice for their marriage. As they finish exchanging vows, Evie bites de Vele's arm, consuming his blood, and instantly transforms into a vampire. She sets the wedding chapel on fire, stabs him in the heart, which rapidly ages him, and flees with Dee. Victoria ambushes Evie and tries to kill her before Lucy intervenes. The two vampires fight until Lucy impales both Victoria and herself on a spear, killing them both, and as a result both turn into ashes. Evie is then attacked by Mr. Field, but she overpowers and kills him. Finally, Evie is attacked by de Vele, who grabs her by the throat. She breaks free by severing his wrist and uses this chance to kick him into the flames, killing him. She loses her powers due to his death and returns to her human form. Evie escapes as the manor is engulfed in flames. 2 weeks later in London, Evie and Grace have tracked down Oliver, who prepares to flee after having paid off the police. The two women intend to kill him for tricking Evie and being complicit in the murders committed by the vampires. And that's it. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel to watch the latest and exclusive movie recaps. If you have any requests, thoughts, or recommendations for movie recaps, just drop them below in the comment section and we will see you at the next video. Peace out!